And Ence looking damn good.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of FaZe, Harry, what do you think?
What do you mean?
A FaZe and, you know, kind of just how they're doing and stuff, man.
Yeah, no, man. They're doing, right? And no one can deny it. So,
all right. Well, thank you for that, Harry. You're right. Speaking of doing, there's a little bit of that going on around here as well. 4 versus 4. Config just trying to eradicate the problem over here towards the CT ramp.
yeah, Poison actually fully blinded him there. And so now with the bomb down, Complexity, they're just trying to play around that. You know, they don't have any kind of advantage. They don't want to throw any of these bodies away. And they know the pressure is on Ence right now. So Poison playing around this bomb, using it like a third man here. Still holding, but Alu is going to get the better of him. Blame now emerging from the jungle, and Alu's just sticking the defuse. That might be the round locked in. Alu,
wow,
with the kit, hops on the bomb. Ence grab that pistol, and they continue Mirage how they left Train.
Yeah, Poison had a real opportunity in that round. You think, okay, well, he's just done it right there for Complexity. He gets a couple kills with his P250, and then it's all devastating after that.
Yeah, just could have tucked, right? If he tucked, they probably win the round just off of that, right? Blame hadn't been spotted. Poison had 2, the bomb for him, but goes in for a fight and loses it. And that's the round just slipping through the fingers of Cole. Ence were very ready for that A play. 3 in CT in an instant. Fast AKs out mid. Cole forced off of the bomb plant. They've tagged Yampy. He does respond on the Poison. A little put down low, but it's got to stay in his hands, right? His teammates have no armor either. Okay, maybe now it trades. He's on 3. Shot from death. Luckily, the 2 AKs still remain in the hands of Blame and NATO. Sunny waiting at the cart. Mid conceded by Ence. Config getting caught running back. I love that. They throw the nade. He tries to run. Sunny jumps up and peeks him with it, catching him on the retreat. Mid is Cole's, but Ence have taken deep B as well. And Palace, look at the amount of info they've got. They just know they're going to get split upon. Which site will it be? It looks like an A play. Poison taking control towards the short area, but that bomb's still back in mid. Nice entry from Blame coming through the con smoke. Only 1 more player left at A. Sergey's going to be on retake duty up in the Palace. Could even wrap ramp, but he'll hang around. Oh, there could be a bit of a fight between Poison and Sunny as well, who's trying to bring the bomb back through spawn. Yampy sees the barrel, and NATO gets his head removed. That's an awful way to go down. This flank, unrealized by Poison. He's just ahead of it, but Sunny and Sergey looking to stab him in the back. It's shot in the front from Alu, and Blame getting attacked from all sides. He is caged into the jungle. And no getting out alive. Does take Yampy with him, but 17 points of health, 20 seconds, no bomb. Alu in the spawn. It's only going to get harder from here.
Yeah, that was the peak. Finally, Sergey puts it into the round and a second on the board for Ence. 0-0. Goose egg for Complexity.
Very confident from Ence already, right? Like, they have good reason to be. They know that Cole are a little bit wounded after that previous map. They're just getting very aggressive. They're taking a lot of control away. They had all the info there. Players in Palace, players deep B, flanking T-spawn. Alu lighting up the server on that A-bomb site. The AKs, they get a kill, and that's a couple of kills, and that's it. Pistols again for Cole.
Oh, Blame with his deagle, opening the round up. A lot of damage done the other way. And oh dear, everyone leaves mid, and the last guy to leave mid was Poison, and unfortunately, he was actually the most important guy to get out of mid. As now, this has gone from being an eco with maybe a fast A play in the tank to a rescue mission. This bomb needs to be retrieved. And Ence, they're not wasting any time. They've pushed up, they've taken it. And I like this decision. I love this decision, in fact. You know, that you could have made an argument for, like, just giving up the bomb. It's only pistols, right? Playing back in the site. There's still a lot of time left, but no, they hunt down this territory and they let Complexity take the sites, knowing that, you know, like, the worst case is that maybe a man tries to wrap through middle. And you're not that worried, right? They're only going to have pistols on the other side.
We're watching their back, but really, both of Cole are in spawn right now. Smoking off the window. Sunny's tucked behind the boxes as well, right? So he can't be seen. For the time being, he can choose when to fight, and he goes for a spot as they come through the corner. So no info yet, but he's about to re-peek and get that knowledge. making sure no one's out under. They're closer than maybe he's ready for. He doesn't see the close player. Blame may know, but what can he even do with that information? They're scared of more mid-control, and even though there are players here, no one's peeking a thing. Blame spotting two. He has some information here, but he's got to get this immediate kill onto Sunny. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? He's wrapping the box. The Shadow gives him away. Blame with an AK, looking for the ace for 10 seconds. Even if Yampy dies, there's no way in hell Alu gives it away, and so Blame has to run. Yeah. It's a one round for Ence.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game there at the top of mid. Doesn't net complexity of the round, gives Blame an AK. Such an awkward engagement, start to finish.
Yeah, I think that realization came in for Sunny right at the last second, but Shadow does take him down. And whatever, again, good eco for Cole, right? Like, they get damaged, and that's been the way the train went, right? They had a lot of good ecos and very close rounds, but, you know, Ence are the ones running the board, and that continues. 3-0 on the CT side. Here is the buy.
Yep, AWP shot there from Alu, lands right on the Blame F sternum.
Double orb for Ence. Yampy's on B.
Alu is in scary form right now, and up through the connector for Config to try and deal with him, but Aerial was there playing in tandem. Sergey sees Rush getting out through Palace, and this is already off to a very, very one-sided start. Just Poison and NATO left alive. Bit of a savage nade there, isn't it? Just to add insult to injury. And now NATO brought down to the one-shot headshot realm of these M4s. They fake flash ramp to give the illusion that they're heading this way.
Well,
they drop the bomb again. Another nade for NATO. And there's Aerial to finish him off. So, yeah, that's pretty dominant. There's full AKs now with the exception of Sunny. So actually not full AKs at all. I thought he was going to get one as well. But still, 2 AKs, 2 orbs. You'll take that all day long on a CT side at 4-0 up.
There's nothing scarier than playing a pug and running into a finished 5 stack. That feels like what Complexity are feeling right now.
I don't know, man. I gotta disagree with you.
Yeah?
I mean, I get pretty scared when I run into an anime 5 stack, anime icon 5 stack.
Oh yeah.
That's some scary stuff. Tread lightly, my friends. Good luck out there.
Well, Ence going to pop some uwus in this round. Kola fast out A. Alu back at triple with one. Sergey does get overwhelmed, but Aerial's still here under the site. Ence have had so many players in the right place at the right time, but this time they're all gone, and Complexity have got the A site, not for long. Rush peeking with the AWP and Spawn. That nade could kill Config, but it's not thrown. Sunny choosing what to do and where to go above. Config is so close, and Blame's covering from Sandwich. The gap in the smoke. Oh, he's going to right-click it. Config's dead. Down to 8. How is he still standing? He did shoot, and so that might draw the attention back to him. He is yet to be spotted. Sunny with 1 needs to look down. Config could get bypassed. They could go right past him. If he holds his own, he doesn't need to shoot. They line up, and Config's got them both. That was perfect.
Well, that nade, you thought that was the end of him.
So it turns out it's actually Cole with the anime profile pictures. They hit them with the P2 as they move into that A-bomb site, and they lock it all in. Do not know how Config gets away with this. He shot the AK, and no one reacted. Like, he gave them a hint. He's like, I'm here. And then they're like, nah, no way. No way he's still there. No way he's done that to us. And he has. So the first comes in the form of that partial investment from Cole. Now they've got to build upon it, because as mentioned, back on train, it was just a series of isolated rounds. Now, T-side, you can actually kind of afford that, right? Thanks to the loss bonus. But that's not what you want your legacy to be in this series. You need to start stringing them together.
The execute is the game plan. Poison lining up a smoke. Sunny boosted in the site. I do love this spot, especially with a UMP. Jump for Jampy. Doesn't see anything yet, but the smoke's faded here. They come. Yampy's going to back up to the car, hiding behind the smoke. Good spray for 1, but traded immediately. Sunny's not checked, and he drops 1. Alu finding the bomb as well. Poison looks for the trade, and the mid lurk is gone. This is a wrecked round for Cole. Poison needs to pick up the pieces, and now he is in pieces as Sunny jumps up on the car again, being quite the nuisance on this CT side. 1 orb saved, and the round as well. Ence immediately respond with a reset, and there it is, Harry. Not what we wanted. At least not for Cole fans, because they're back to eco.
Alu with the full send out the window. Speaking of full send, here comes Complexity doing the same thing towards B. A fast and furious approach. Instead of them just one kill. Grandmaster Yampi standing right in the way, stopping them all in their tracks. He's up for 3. Will he get the last one to blame?
Well, he's been a bit more careful to not give it over, but that has bought a lot of time for these rotates. Now, doesn't like they know he's already in the site, so while he does blindside the first, Alu is there to get the trade, and Ence move up to 6-1. This is another dominant start from Ence and a pretty slow one from Cole. Sad to see, but TAC timeout called on in as they try and come up with a solution to this. Now, thus far, what's worked? Well, a standard, just A execute with the normal smokes, running in behind them, getting the better events with those pistols. That's all that Cole have in the bag right now.
Yampi. Or just Jumpy.
Cole have got another buy at least, right? They got the AWP, but yeah, certainly a slow start to their map pick as well. It could be a slow finish if it keeps up.
See what you did there?
Yep.
Do see what you did there.
And looking desperately for that 2-0. They will obviously go up to face Na'Vi in that upper semi-final matchup if they win this one. Team they beat as well in the group stages. Nice shot for Poison on the cross against Aerial. Where did Cole go with that? They leave A. Good setup for the mid split, right? Still Rush holding into the Palace. B has been locked down by Sunny round after round, and he's there again alone, not for long. Alu does join him as the call is made that no one's out A with that pick. Sergey looks to hold it down on his own. Cole coming through under. They are peering away from this A bomb site, so the read might be right for Ence, and Sunny's getting more and more info by the second. Deep B.
Now that's a nice smoke right there. We'll allow Config and NATO to push out from underneath. Meanwhile, has opened up a little bit of an avenue here for Complexity in the middle. Alu sticks around about as long as he can, just a millisecond from taking a shot. There we go, the inevitable angle that was Sunny holding in the B apartments. Not ideal. Trying to take a shot inside of the ladder room. It's just gone horribly wrong. Config and NATO, though, start to lasso it back, bring it back for the one time. 2-on-1, Sergey makes the jump.
Poison saved NATO there as well, right? Catching the player with the AWP up as NATO's about to run into the AWP and the B bomb site. It's a big round for Poison. 3 kills. NATO does flash clear Sunny as well in apartments and get him out of that precarious position. Yampi, this is crazy, right? He gets one fully blind, continues to spray because obviously he doesn't know that he's worked it out, and then drops a smoke. It hits the other player, and he still does like 90 damage to both of them. So very successful round for him, but not the killing blows, and that could have made all the difference for Ence as it put Cole on 2 and put Ence's money in quite an awkward spot. They've got a double AWP, but they've also got a double UMP, not the combo we used to see. And also, Alu and Sergey donning those AWPs right now over Yampi.
Ooh. Well, mid control finally taken for Cole. And a man advantage to boot. They're feeling pretty good about this round. Then you see a guy called Sergey, and he's got Alu back in CT to help him out. That's a bit of a rough one there. As the UMP gets away with far more than it should have been able to. Poison deals with Yampi, and now Alu not looking into this A site. That's where NATO should have this kill locked in. He's got the bomb, he swings out Palace, and he deals with Alu. So Complexity, slowly but surely finding their footing. NATO recovering, he was 1-7. Just 2 rounds ago. You know, it's only 3 more kills, but he's starting to rise up the scoreboard, you know, and find his footing a little bit.
Their kills on winning rounds as well, which, you know, is far more impactful than just getting exits or almost clutching. And it's broken the money of Ence. 2K a player. Sunny with a double flash. They're going to be crunching mid.
Yep. Millennium Falcon play here.
Nope.
Playing with 3 on what was expected there. They're going to continue to do just that. Alu somehow netted himself an AK out of the skirmish.
Nao, get the eco frags. Build that confidence. He's in with 1. And they want to try and find Alu. At the same time, I can't say I blame you for not wanting to find Alu right now. He's having a very, very good performance thus far. And so he might be able to get out of this round with the AK in tow. Regardless, this is a nice recovery from Complexity, making this whole setup feel that much more doable here. They come into this going, what, 6-1 down to begin. It looked pretty dire, but now you're up 6-4. You chain some rounds together. And so finally, they're the ones reaping the reward of the economy, which was not the case throughout any turn in this series so far. They have been on the back foot in terms of the money and in terms of the individuals throughout all of Train and at the beginning here of Mirage. So it's like finally you kind of hit like your easy streak. That was it. It just happened. And there's a chance to keep it going if you pick this victory up here and now. Very, very quickly, you can tie this game up at 6-6. So this round here, very, very important for Cole.
Yeah, just to remind you, the loser of this game will go on to play Mouse Sports tomorrow in the later game. Before that, Astralis Heroic.
That's a cool matchup as well, right? Like Danish Derby, S-Tag, taking on his former team, assuming he's playing. But I think that's a fair assumption.
El Clasico, some might even call it.
Good call of that. Right now, Rush, though, dealing with a rush. Double push down ramp. He gets 1 and some damage, mollies it off. Not giving away anything else, not letting Ence trade that kill, even if it means letting the CT escape. Sergey on 30. Cole have mid, right? They threw in early smokes to take this. Alu cut off in the window. Double palace push for Ence. Nice response to losing ramp, right? They know that Rush is patrolling this area on his own right now. And Cole just stopped. They just hold, waiting to see if Ence give them anything. Alu certainly might. Peering from the window. Poison just can't see him. But Alu assumes it's safe. He drops out. He gets in under. And NATO has his back turned, flicks back for the kill. That could have gotten out of hand very quickly. Luckily, Cole just about holding on. 5-on-3. Palace play could surprise him, especially with Sunny fighting right after they kill him. They might expect, you know, Sergey to not be there. They have so many players filtering in through connector. Cole looking to trade their way to a round.
The double dink on the Palace player, Sunny. And what started as a good-looking Ence first half really has dwindled as time has gone by. Flexi get a bomb plan in over here on the A side, and, well, that does leave Sergey and Sunny. I say just Sunny. It may not be Sunny here, but we're not in Philadelphia.
And this is exactly what you were saying, right? Like, if Cole wanted to recover this game, they've gone through the necessary precautions nice and early. They've effectively been gifted a chance at a 6th with very little in the way of resistance on the other side. And so maybe there's still some hope yet. Just maybe. Only pistols here for Ence. And once again, looking to grab mid are Complexity. Poison's holding for the cross. Now, there are a lot of players here, and they're all going close to ramp. Poison could be in a bit of trouble here. He backs away, and that there is the perfect call from Poison, right? Because, like, best case scenario, maybe he gets away from that with 2. But if he gets traded and that AWP gets given over, that sets Ence up with a chance here in this round. And now they do start to pressure him. Now they force their way into him. And he's only good for 1. An AWP in the hands of Sergey. And he's not going to stick around. He's not looking to get traded, right? He's looking to get out of there in a 4-on-4 and bring this AWP into the late round. Complexity, this has just gotten a lot harder on the back of that 1-for-1.
Yeah, blame's lurking A, though. The bomb going B. Blame looks to get rid of this AWP before it even rotates into the site, and Sergej is playing passive on the balcony, so it won't be seen for now. NATO leading the charge over into a two-man setup. Molly is good. It's going to force Sunny out into the open. Sergej does get caught. The AWP lost in no man's land, and they back out. They bail from the double B setup. Still Aerial here, close Tetris. The last thing they'll expect after already dealing with the aggressive ramp player. Now, he can't get that AWP, but he can be a bit of a thorn in the side if they plant open. We'll see if someone's going to cover this, or if Rush is just left to be fed to the wolves. That is exactly what's going on. Aerial with a free kill. 30 seconds. They need to pick up the pieces. They need this trade. And so NATO's going to hunt as Yampy looks to cover. Looking for what? He gets it. Sunny follows up as well. It's Config in a clutch with 20 seconds. Info on both, but he's lost Sunny, who's gone inside of the window. Config running for the site instead. And Yampy tucked behind triple. Can he stall? He hears the feet and he runs around the side. That's a great play for Yampy. Config thinks he's safe. He is far from it. Yampy with the round, and Ence pick up an eco out of nowhere.
Oh my goodness, how does it just fall apart? It just collapses right at the end. Rush gets sniped down by CZ trying to plant. I think it was a CZ. Either way, yeah. It's the same feeling regardless.
Goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, it only hurt a little bit worse if you got killed by Tech9, but really good round for Ence.
Cole going back to that mid control that worked, or at least feigning it with the same smokes. It's actually an A execute. Fast mid for Ence. They're going to clear this one out, but it's not going to be easy with Blame running through there at utility at the top of middle. Alu dealing with the A play on the AWP. There's 3 players here for Ence.
Yeah, this actually leaves them in an even odds fight, right? With Blame being so far away. These smokes now getting lined up. Poison besting Alu. Flashes are good to deny a trade as well, and that there is very, very important. Rush winning his fight and Poison following up. So the return is swift. Sunny, makes it doable. Down to a 1v2 from a 1v4 in a matter of seconds. And maybe there's still a chance for Sunny yet. Over in the jungle. Gonna start to creep in with this AK. NATO back in the bomb site. Blame F on Tetris. Kit dropped as well over towards Sandwich, so that can allow Sunny a little bit more time to work with here, but he's looked away. Blame sees him, doesn't go for the instant kill, and instead waits for NATO. They peek in tandem. That's the complexity. They get that round back under control, but a damn good try from Sunny to make that even look remotely doable.
Yeah, Poison's really showing up with the AWP in this map as well, right? Who's a little bit quiet, didn't have it a whole lot in the previous one, and often bested by Alu on the reads. But right now, he's been catching Yampy, aggressing short every time. He's supporting Cole as they entry A. Could have got caught by that player in the sandwich, but checked by Rush, who's been very good at solo A on this T side. Things are looking decent for Cole. Ence back to pistols. They've won this round before, though.
Yeah, but this time, surely there's not going to be any freebie upgrades given over from Cole. This AWP running with the rest of the pack, right where it should be.
You know Ence want to win it because Yampy's got a kit, right? Like, they're believing in this round.
I mean, the rounds have gotten so close at the very end, you know?
Look at this. They're about to crunch into mid, but the window smoke goes in. They peek with it. And they do deal with Config. Now, Cole see this, and they're like, right, time to go, time to pick up the pace, and they start to run towards B, but this is seen by Ence. They know what's going on, and so all this utility's coming in, but Ence have already got the entire party together. The whole gang is in this B site. Sergej and his AK in with one. Yampy, not good for anything over at the bench, but Sunny is, and now boosted in the site. There's still a man here. There's one more imposter, and it's Alu inside of the site, waiting ever so patiently. And the longer that this position harbors someone for Ence, the more valuable it becomes. Blame, will he see it? Blame. Blame, he's on your screen, Blame F. There he is, but still Poison's dealt with. Down to the 1v1. Aerial swinging in, and Blame trying to keep the round alive. A round that should have been easy for Cole. Now rests in Blame hand, and he's got it. Wow. 7 on the board for complexity, but boy, oh boy, they do not come cheap when you're up against this Finnish squad.
Oh, and I love that round from them, right? The mid push, they get the AK at the top. They realize the bomb's going B. They see it on the back of Poison. Poison as well, doubles up. It feels like he's been the multi-kill hero here in this map for complexity. Again, saving them for a second before Blame pulls out a clutch. 15 and 9 on him, 15 and 10 on Poison. This two-man setup is doing the damage, and Cole putting together a pretty good T side. Can they find 8 at the end? Orb shot again on the cross for Poison. He's done that once more onto Aerial. Allu's at triple. Cole just want to commit. They just want to go right into the A site with Blame lurking mid. And Poison's got to follow up. Sergey above the balcony dropping the bomb. It's a confirmation here for Ence, but that's going to do little to help them with NATO trading. The Molotov pushes Sergey out, and now 2 CTs left up.
Yeah, Yampy down here in Con, but he's looking into middle, and there's no one there for Cole. That info is going to be gained a little too late, and so Sunny, you know, last time he was in a 1v4, he got it close. This time, he's effectively in a 1v4, because Yampy can't really help with Con being smoked. All he can do is offer up flashes, and that's enough to get Sunny 1, but it is going to fall to Yampy to do the bulk of the heavy lifting here. Flash through the smoke, Blame is holding it, and Cole, they narrowly win out the half from being 6-1 down to a recovery here, closing it out 8-7 at the end of the first half of play. Complexity trying to take us the distance, but can they? Join us after a break to find out.
We're going to kickstart this pistol round. Complexity with a 1-round advantage going into the second half of play. And that's going to be an advantage in the round. Alu immediately gets erased by Poison's USP. Full-on hit here, the A site.
Okay, some clean shots followed by some not so clean shots, but still a 5-on-3. Make it better for Cole as the odds increase every second. Poison absolutely slaughtering on the A-bomb site. 3 kills from him. He has been heroic in this map, and Complexity looking damn good, finding 9. Ence may have stormed the board back on train, but this is a whole different kettle of fish.
Ugh. That doesn't even sound like remotely attractive either. You're a kettle of fish. It doesn't even matter what type of fish, you can keep them all.
Well, I'd do everything to stop the lime scale trace, but even this won't work. It's cool that Cole are now like a Danish team, right, for the time being, right? 3 Danes inside of this roster.
Yeah, the big question is what's worse to run into, a 5 Danish stack or a 5 Finnish stack in an MM game?
I don't want either, to be honest. I want to win.
Fair. Very, very fair.
Ekes out for the boys. Ence with the big old 4s. That pistol was not to their liking. Very quick, very clean for Cole. So they're going to fight back tooth and nail. Leave and B after showing some presence and bringing the bomb back towards the A site. Blame did take mid and has all that information, but it's left Rush alone on A with a FAMAS in spawn. Again, the MP9 on NATO, he is on the B-bomb site, as we can probably expect here. Put in a bunch of the harder rolls. It's going to go back late into middle. Poison fighting from the window. 3 for him. How does he do it? I do not know. That's going to be Cole sweeping this round. It's down to 2 coming out A.
And they'll get mopped up pretty easily by Cole. You keep that anti-eco flawless, and it was actually an anti-force buy, so Ence having to eco again. This is going to extend the lead even further for Complexity, who up until, you know, the closing few, well, really like kind of the midpoint in that half, I guess you'd say, right? After going 6-1 down, it didn't look competitive at all in this series, right? But now suddenly getting their second win, going on that huge streak to round out the half of like going 7-1 back against Ence, who have just 6-1'd you in those first opening rounds. And And keeping that streak up here, moving into the second half. This is a real lifeline for Cole. This is some signs of life here. They've found water on Mars, and now we found life in Complexity.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're basically right. Well, Alu, not sure you're going to pull this one through, buddy. That's a good start. That might make me a believer. Ooh. That as well. Maybe he gets a third right here. Blow my mind, Alu.
Smoke actually lets him get closer, and he can play the gap on it. Poison, holding though, he has been one hell of a player in this map. Every single round. 26 and 11, this guy is storming. And now he can even get the AWP, right? Back-to-back 3Ks in the middle. Alu's got his though, Glass.
Boom.
This was sick.
Yeah, that one just doesn't even seem fair. Sorry, Blame.
Alu going for the cross shot. Aerial died twice to this in the first half. Rush will not join him. Does use the Molotov to get through. NATO's taken Palace as well, moved over to the A site. We have a triple setup here. Leaving Config alone with a second AWP, 2 of which for Cole. Wondered if we'd see it in Config or NATO's hands. For the time being, it is Config. NATO does do damage, though, finding Sergey early in the apartments, having a lot slower of a game than the T-sided Train, where he was dominating 6 and 15 on the young gun. With plenty of time to pull it back. Middle is belonging to Ence. They want this A site.
Well, Poison has been exactly that. You see him here sitting, get 26 and 11, make it 27 after he takes out Aerial over there towards the A ramp. Surely he's on for more. Been a real treat to watch. Been a real denial.
Oh. So either Blame saves Config or Config is dead. And the answer is that Blame saves Config. And now Alu left in this one. 1v5, AWP in hand. What can he do? The answer might surprise you as he's tagged right away. There is a Molotov on Rush at the stairs. There's a nade raining in. Don't know how that did no damage, but Poison is there to collect the kill anyway. Putting up an absolutely tremendous scoreline, almost reaching 30 now. Imagine a world in which this game longs all the way out to the full 30 and Poison's able to break Config's kill record. Now that would be weirdly not LAN. Oh no, it wasn't LAN anyway, it was online.
It was online. Yeah. It's 47.
Yeah, 47, yeah. So let's see.
Easier said than done.
I know, he only needs 20 in 10 rounds, but that's 2 kills around and Poison.
Yeah.
I think it's doable for him.
Let's keep our eyes on it. The AWP back in mid, but smoked off for now. The kills are going to get stolen, swept from out under his feet. Config looking for them. Oh, his head's exposed. Yampy gets him from out lower mid. Config was flashed off, and Sergey is out the Palace. Not for long. Aerial drop. Poison tries to follow up, and Alu could help out too. Sonny's jumped into the window. Yampy in the connector. This is a mess. This is a fast split in Complexity, or at least dealing with it. Smoked off is Blame, leaving Rush to deal with the A site alone. NATO comes off of B and gets rid of that AWP, but there's the entry that will allow the bomb plant.
2-on-2, NATO trying to come in from CT. He's going to have the first response to this problem, which is Sergey to defend the planet bomb. Finds a good shot on the NATO. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool shot. It just wasn't enough. Complexity are going to go up to 13.
All right, NATO, let's not celebrate too much, all right, guy? 3 Deagle kills, pretty cool and all. No one's doubting it. If he misses the defuse, that's just the best karma. Do it one more time, I dare you. Yeah, you won't. Complexity 13. As they put another on the board. Flawless thus far over on the CT side.
Hey guys, my name's NATO Sapphics, and I recently stood in for Complexity. I've compiled a list of my frags recently, and check them out on my YouTube channel.
What was that?
Yeah, what the hell was that all about?
Have you not seen? He always posts that on Reddit whenever he stands in for teams.
I don't know. It sounds like you're selling out for him. Are you employed by NATO Sapphics?
Yeah, I mean, I actually, I'm a big fan. I bought his socks. I recommend you do too. He's on my feet every day. I should really clean them. fast middle play, though. Blame taking down Yampy first. Sonny does get through.
What anything that just happened was. Sonny, over here on the catwalk, smoked off from the connector. The rest of Ence get out through the apartments. And the Mac Daddy that is Sergey not able to find anything from short. There should be a kill here. But there is not.
Oh, the double check. Oh!
Ooh, there's one, but there's still another man lurking in the back line. That's Blame F. And he will go unaccounted for now. Not often that you have to contend with two players moving in through the apartments either. Alu now going back and realizing maybe I shouldn't have abandoned this position. That's the hand they've been dealt. Aerial counting cards and counting names here as he doubles up inside of the site. Blame left all alone, no choice but to save. And hence they're going to grind out an 8th round. Still trying to recover here on the map pick of Complexity. Putting this into perspective once again, there was a time where Ence are up 6-1. So now only just arriving at 8, 13 on the board for Cole, really does put some merit on this comeback that Complexity had to embark upon.
And are still embarking on as we speak, right? They're not out of the woods just yet. Ence winning a rifle round on the T side. Building back into this half. That is their first. Can they find any more? Poison's back on the AWP. NATO back on B. Blame, Molotov out the top of middle. It's not like Ence are taking it. Smokes may come down, but they're setting up in the B apartments early. NATO is alone at B. His config is aggress short, but he will come back to help. And it's actually not a B play. Ence are going in through under instead. Set up with Sonny outside, Sergey outside A. There's a lot of S's here. Poison. Right place, right time, but has he got the shot?
Yes, he does. See you later, Alu.
That's his 30th kill, 22 rounds into this game. How much more can Poison do?
He's composed.
Jesus.
That was really bad.
Well, nade. Gonna force them out of connector. But unknowingly, all that's done is brought the fight towards Config, at least from Aerial, and he does get the better of him. Now the temptation there for Ence to head towards B, and Aerial in the last round on this B play put up 3 entries to get them into the site. This time it's a double, and that bomb rotates away. Now, the kind of danger of this never being a B play, like it was never meant to end B. They were gearing up for a split into this A site. Situationally, it just ended up with Aerial moving in through Cat, and now this leaves these remaining A players here to try and hunt down these weapons, and Sergey, way too close for Poison. Follows up onto Rush, and for Blame, he's just looking to stay alive. Ence about to put 9 on the board, and Blame just wants to hold on to his M4.
Oh, no.
And now he's given away his position as well, so he's really in a bit of a rough spot here. Sergey dropping that AWP, taking the AK, that to me just screams that he wants to hunt this kill down, right? There's still a lot of time for it. It does impact Complexity if they take this gun away. One's in here with him. Blame F, dropped by Aerial, who has just exploded in these last few rounds. He went from being bottom of the board for Ence, or damn close to it, to suddenly someone who has set them up to win all these T-side rounds thus far.
Yeah, the close peek for Sergey, right? Poison gets no time to react. He's double scope looking at window. Great kills for Sergey. And Ence, slow and steady, 2 T rounds in a row. Cole are broken. One gun on Blame wasn't saved, but he reinvested, and he's going to look to take middle. There's no flashes for Cole to pop him in for a peek, and so it could be dangerous to take that one. Alu's walking up, looking at Con with the AWP. Window not really being watched right now, so there would have been a chance, but Blame's already fallen back spawn side. Double Palace push for Cole. They've got control. Even Config alone at B.
Here's a little bit of leeway for Ence. Got to smoke down to the connector, and for the time being, it's smoke up in the window. It's going to give him just that shroud. That cover, that blanket, or the security, if you want to say it that way, going right up the catwalk. Slow and smooth. Sonny's going to drop a Molotov on the A site. That's going to keep some players in place here for Complexity for the time being. Anything that he can do to draw attention over here to A is wanted.
Yeah, they want this B split by the looks of things. Sonny's stalling out A, and he's got to kill. That could, again, pull Ence to the other side of the map. And yeah, they're tempted. 2 kills. NATO drops out the Palace. He's got to do everything here. 9 bullets. Already fires off some leg shots. Reload coming through. And Ence coming through connector. NATO with the spray on another. It is traded. Ence with the sight and the potential to plant. They're clearing everything out. Does anyone else lurk around? Config fires off from short, stopping the bomb temporarily. 20 seconds. Ence can plant on the other side of triple, but they need cover in case Blame's in CT. He's not, but Ence don't know that. M4 coming through jungle as the smoke fades. And flash deep, Ence getting control for the post plant.
Yeah, Ence finally starting to take this game a little bit back into their own hands, but for Complexity, it's had its share of troublesome times. Perhaps Config could snake himself a weapon out of this. For your Complexity, you're sitting up there at 13.
Ooh.
Well, that's nice. Doesn't matter in the big scheme of things, but when your Complexity, you're sitting up there at 13 for a while, I mean, you've got a little bit of room to wiggle with.
Ooh, if Alu jumps on his teammate's head, Blame could kill him, but avoids death by a few inches. And yeah, this is getting uncomfortably close now for Cole, right? They had a great streak, 5 rounds at the start of this CT side, but now 3 in a row for Ence. The streak yet to be broken, the money building, the orb saved every time. Cole do have another buy. They got to make it worth its while. NATO on the orb as well. We've yet to see that, right? He's going to throw it over to Poison a bit later.
Several grenades going into the connector. It's going to isolate Blame F out of there, at least for the time being. Well, things have calmed down just a little bit. It's Ence that have left a player over here towards the back of apartments, or Palace, I should say. And they're going to go 4 deep on apartments. Still with that option to pivot into lower if they want to.
There's a good chance we get this head-to-head of like Poison and Alu, because look at Poison right now. He is very, very aware that there's the chance for this con split. He's been scoped up on it all round long. And 2 players now aggressing onto Cat's side. It seems like Cole have a very, very good read on what's going on in this round. And there's Config to open everything up. Alu bested as Config is boosted up short side. They don't even seem aware. Sonny does get the trade at least, but it's still a 2-for-1. Config will take that every day of the week, as will the rest of Complexity. NATO falls back into that B site, doesn't want to give up this ground. You know, you've worked hard for this man advantage. You do not want to give it away and open up that B site once again. They missed the timing onto these Cat players. So now NATO tagged by the AWP. He knows he's lucky to be alive, but he goes back in, and that proves to be his undoing. This B site, once again, a problem for Complexity as it's opened the doors to Ence with 15 seconds left in the round. That bomb now going down. Gets its way into the site. They still don't believe it's clear, but now they know. They spam the bench. They molly out the truck. They get it planted, and they set up for a 3-on-3. Poison has been holding this since the start of time itself. Will he find this man in the site? Sonny doing a good job of not giving anything over. Sergey wins his fight in the apartments, and that might have to be the save call coming in. Rush doesn't even get away. He gets wallbanged out of the round. And Poison, the only man to live to tell the tale, and a pretty grim tale to tell at that. He gets away with the AWP. Sticks around, but with no kit, he is just saving here. 11 on the board for Ence, closing this gap again as they chain all these rounds together.
That was a 3-on-4 as well, right? Cole had no kit in the round. That's a scary situation for Ence after Config gets far too much than he should have gotten off of that boost. Doubled up before the trade came through, and NATO caught in the open. He gets tagged, and he tries to throw a nade that would have killed Yampy, who was on 1 HP, but yeah, NATO gets re-peaked, and the AWP takes him down, leaving B open for the taking.
Please give me the kill through the box. Oh.
Yeah, that was a great shot from Sonny, just spraying through Stars are aligning right now for Ence. And Blame on the apartments play in the flank as well, gets killed again.
And look at how Ence have come back into this game, Hugo. The rounds are just aligning right now. Meanwhile, if you're Poison, you're 31 and 15, you're wondering what the heck.
That's the scary part, right? When you have this like T-side streak, we know how cheap the T-side is to buy up in comparison to the defense. And so Ence, they've got this massive buffer and they've got all the money as a result. So even if Cole find like a 14th or whatever, they're going to be the ones, you know, pressed to buy. And Ence are going to be able to continue to invest until this game is over, no matter the result. Cole even broke in this one. Deagle and MP9 in play. Fast up mid for Sunny. He's in the open though, flashed out by Rush. Blame takes him. Config playing the smoke, gonna drop into middle. Nate does do good damage, and he's gonna try and escape as well. Re-peeks back with the Molotov. Aerial pushed out, but he gets the kill. Like you said, Harry, Aerial has come alive, and the Orb gotta try and trade. It only gets one. Aerial keeps this round intact, but at least it's the low player standing tall for Ence, right? Cole still have that up their sleeve. They can take him down with a single shot. Rush, close A. Sergey sees it. More information. Ence are piecing together this defense. Cole are aggressing in B. Double setup. Blame's a little bit further behind NATO. If he dies, Blame can go in and get this trade. Aerial might lose the bomb here, though. That's a big kill. And Alu's too far away to do anything about it. NATO gives the control back. He smokes it off with this advantage for complexity. They don't need to play for the bomb in such a weird choke point. They can go back to the bomb sites. And where do they go? Where will they meet them? They only saw one deep B. They don't know about Blame as well.
This is crunch time for both teams. You know, like if Ence want to keep this comeback rolling in, well then boy oh boy, this would be a round to find, right? Wrecking the economy of Cole, setting yourselves up to potentially go 13-13 with a pretty null and void investment in the round prior for complexity if they win it. But if not, Cole move on to 14. And yeah, there's still money for Ence, but they're very, very close then. 2 players in B, and Ence were not ready for it. Alu him with one, but so little time. He can't get that bomb planted. He's just looking to stay alive with the AWP, and NATO finds him. And I think after time as well, it was after time. Luckily enough, Alu was loaded anyway, right? Gold chain on, but still... costly, a lot more expensive than you would have liked. You would have loved to have had 8 grand and the AWP and then had like a bank to keep dropping over. Look, Cole win the round, then the kill comes in.
Big round for Cole and NATO with a double on the Deagle. Orb's been thrown back over to Poison. Blame again in middle. Cole have really wanted to take this control away from Ence, but mollied out of the connector. Blame doesn't want to risk it. Rush smoking ramp, and Ence double flashing into middle. They've got 2 out and about. Orb is still here, of course. Ence setting up for what looks like an early B play with 3 in the apartments, but again, we've seen them come through lower. This time they're smoking. Ampy's gonna lurk in connector. He's already gone. Blame deals with him. Sergey leading the charge. Config and NATO with a crossfire. The molly is in. Aerial does get that entry. Config gets split from short, swinging out into the open. Maybe miscommunication for Cole, as the smoke was already down in connector. They had no info on that flank. Config shot in the back, and Cole probably looking to save in this 2-on-3. They might give it a go due to the numbers alone, but Rush is so far away that Blame's gonna make the call. Keep your weapons. Ence have 12.
And back and forth just like that. I mean, for complexity, it's a unfortunate series of events that leads to that round going the way it did. But for Ence, you're thinking those lucky stars. And I'm not talking about the ones like the Cowboys logo.
Yeah, nice faster B approach for Ence, right? We haven't seen anything like that in this T side. They've often late lurked it and taken it mainly through short, right? Those entries for Aerial up into the B bomb side, but this time it's just Hail Mary in through the apartments.
Well, Hugo, we're going to Mars. Or potentially Overpass, whichever one comes first.
Carlos still looking to get there, but the money is not really in their favor, is it? It's like train all over again. And at a crucial point as well in this map. If they lose this, they're playing for round 30. Oh, what a shot for Blame. He doesn't even try and spray.
Yeah.
He knows he's got it in one.
He was so confident in that one tap, wasn't he? That is a really nice start to this round for Cole. Yampy almost delivering a kill for NATO. He can feel it coming now. There's the peak, but Yampy somehow wins that out. And while that was happening, Alu was able to dispatch another man inside of this B site. Now just one more. Blame F tucked in behind the bench. Sunny deals with Config over at A. And that bomb is heading back towards the A site. They dodge Blame F. They move into Rush, who's had a pretty quiet game. If there ever was a time to stand and deliver like it's the E-League Major, it's now for Rush. They start to push in. One up on the stairs. Sunny gets dropped, but Sergey here, ready and waiting to trade up on the bench. And Rush has got no idea. Bomb now working against Complexity. They do have 2 kits, so they've got a chance here, but they need these kills. They've got to find something soon. Blame with this flash could try and set Rush up.
Oh no! Ooh, the flash. I thought it was going to get him there. It doesn't. Sergey's pinched between 2, though. He knows where Blame is coming from. Flashed out by his team, and Rush gets the kill. That con smoke, that con rather not smoked, and Alu's got an open sight line. He misses as he tries to shoot in between 2. Rush with the cover, but they need to get on the defuse. The time's already ticked away. Alu might have won the round, and even with the missed shot, there's no time for Cole. Running for the hills, a 13th for Ence. That was so well played by Rush and Blame. Rush stalling for so long to let his teammate come in, and even though Sergey gets pinched between 2, it's still going to be an Ence round. I will say the save is big there, right, for Cole. Even though that doesn't go how they wanted to, they get out with guns, and it means they don't need to eco this round like they would have and play for 30, play for overtime. They can give it another full buy here with the AWP as well. And we've not even seen an A execute for Ence.
Well, you don't have to wait much longer. Here it is, Rush in the site, the only man between them and this plant. Config, good for 1. They threw the deep jungle smoke, so Config is given free reign to fight, and Blame in with another. Complexity. They have put an abrupt end to this A play. They flash Config in to take down even more, and it's all onto Yampy. Config gets the better of him. 4 in the round and 15 on the board for Cole, looking to take us the distance. Looking to take us to overpass.
It's a hell of a round for Config, man. Full send, flash through from Blame, drops off the stairs smoke, and gets 4 in the round. You take it. Poison's at 32. He's had a quiet few in the past couple, but that's not really been a worry for Complexity, who are only a round away from overpass. Ence forcing an AWP on Alu. He had 8 grand. He doesn't try and drop a couple of AKs. He just buys up full. Sunny will join him with a rifle, but no one else as well endowed on the Ence side right now. Yampy looking connector. That's a D shot to Blame. Ence not giving it up yet. Fast out the palace, missed shot for Poison, uncharacteristic, but Rush picks it up on the A site 2 with a bomb dropped. Ence, they are screwed.
Or are they? Sunny moving in, getting it back into even odds, and retrieving the bomb. NATO removing Yampy. The bomb plant protected. They did everything they could to keep Sunny alive, but now with 2 points of health, he's got to show us why. This is a very tall order for Sunny. He can't take even a bullet, and Config is there to dish them out high in supply. The defuse gonna come on in for Complexity as they keep marching on. And this game, this series, moves on to overpass as the deciding map to see who takes this bout between Complexity and Ence. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a belter, so stay tuned.